Hey guys. Today, I guess I'll start with the tickets that we have, namely the bugs. I want to clear out this column before we go on and start implementing other features. And let's see. Regarding the first here, I think it might be a bit difficult to replicate. So I'm going to start with the simpler one. Just to gain some momentum. Get their order. This is going to be a chunky task. Might take some time. Inventory rendering function on mount only inventory slots. Yep. So I think this is the simplest one. Let me do some sorting. This is, I would say, the most complicated. And then this is simple. Add an ability to make buttons non-interactable. Simple enough. Inventory rendering function on mount only inventory slots, and inventory slot should keep the hover scale while placing the unit. Yeah, so from easiest to hardest, I'm gonna start with the easy ones. Yeah, to just get some momentum, and then we see what happens next. Let's see. So here is the code, and as usual, there is a link by accessing which you can see the live version of the game I'm currently working on. Let's see. And you can see the link in the top left corner. Okay. I was supposed to set up a bot that kind of sends the link in the chat messages, but it doesn't seem to be working this time, so I'm just going to paste in the chat. Let's see, what is the link? Here we go. And yeah, now we can do some work. Let's see. Okay, so the first ticket is to fix the keyboard controls, and let's see. So the keyboard controls, they start in the stage manager, in a stage controller. And this is the place where we relay the keyboard events and the key press event, and then we need to see where this event is being subscribed to. Just in one place, and it's here. Exactly. Okay, so now depending on which key it is, I'm gonna do let's see how we can check if the key pressed is a number. Let's see. JS check if number. Or maybe we can see the what do we get here? Let's see. Maybe we can get the key code, and then we can just specify the range of key codes. So I'm going to instead do this, and then log out and see what's happening. Oh, the bot worked. That's nice. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we have the key, we have the code, control key, target. What happens? Okay, so the digits have a code prefix. This is numpad 0, and this is digit 1, digit 2. Okay, that's good to know. And the property was key code, right? No, we have the key code here. Okay. So let's see what are the key codes in that case. Do we get a list of key codes? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I would assume the key codes are from 49 to 57, right? Let's double check. Where are we? So many windows. Okay, so this should be 49. Yep, and then this should be 57. Okay, so this is great. Now I'm just going to pass through the I guess the event. Kind of makes sense to have more information available. And then the type is not string anymore. What is the type? The add event listener, keyboard event. Sounds good. if event dot. Okay, so the key code. Why is it there? Is it deprecated? Why? Why do you have to? Yeah, I want to open the external. Okay. Browse might still support it. May have removed. Oh, why do you keep making everything difficult? So what should I use instead? It only represents. Use the keyboard event dot code. Well, the keyboard event dot code kind of gives the string value. That's not very nice to work with. The string value. What is the list of all possible key codes in that case? Where do we get the list? What does the key give us? Am I missing something? See? Key is 4, so this is a digit. And then if I do this, this is that, and then if I do this, this is 9, and the code is numpad. Okay, so what we can do, and 0 is okay, numpad. Okay, so what we can do is check if the code has a digit substring in it, and then we just convert the key to a number, and we use that. That sounds fine. Okay, so if event.code includes, and then I'm assuming this is going to be standard across all different platforms. Okay, so this is a standard. That's good. Includes digit. Then we get the parse int event dot key, and then let's log this out. Okay, this works good. And also I want to exclude the 0. And then we are going to now here we need to kind of make the connection with the inventory state. We don't need this stuff. Does not include digit. Then return. This is nicer. Let's see where we. So basically, whenever we're the keyboard mimics the manual click on the inventory slot. So this means that we can go to the inventory function. Let's see in the outline. So we go here, and then when we are creating the buttons, this is what we want. This is what we want. And we're emitting the select event with the occupant as its payload. And the occupant is equals to this. So I assume, where were we? Here. So I assume if we take the digit -1, because we're mapping 1 to 9 range to 0 to 8, because the array starts at 0. And we are going to emit an event. Well, let's just copy this line. Okay, but before we let's see what happens here. So the question is whether I should probably not emit an event. Because if we don't, like, we have 4 inventory slots, and the last one is empty, and we press number 4, it will try to access the third occupant, which does not exist. So we can do this here preemptively. And if occupant return, otherwise emit the occupant. So this thing should now be working. Where is this? 729. And I forgot a comma. No, I forgot a parenthesis. Okay. Okay, let's remove this stuff. Okay, and now nothing happens. We take this one and now we can place it back. So that's great. Oh, we're back at the crappy level. Okay, so now we take this guy and we can't press 2 anymore. Well, we can still press 1. And now if I take both of them, then I can press 1 and I can press 1. And it is because the inventory is not a map. Inventory is basically a stack, and that's another ticket. So we fixed this one, which is great. And now we can go and see. So let's see. Check mark emoji. Just give me the emoji. Okay. The scaling is a bit off. Kind of annoying. But when I paste it in here, no, okay, it still gets rasterized or whatever. Okay. So extract space availability query into a separate function, add an ability to make buttons non-interactable. I guess since we are in the business of making the inventory work properly, we should focus on this one. And order on reconciliation. Okay. Let me get rid of this console log. It's kind of spamming the DevTools. Not very nice. And this is happening in utilities and sprites, I presume. Console. No. Where is it happening? This is weird. Okay. So let's update this function as well. Yep, this works fine. Let's see. Yep. Okay. So with this thing, we need to start at the state, and then we need to rethink the way the state behaves before we go further. But I'm going to take a 1 minute break and I'll be back. All right, let's continue. go to the state and I think it would be fine. Okay, so what if inventory is an array? And then let me double check. Let me double check. Can I write in the console? Yep. Okay, let's see. Because I think when we have an uninitialized, okay, the length is 3. Yeah, so there is some weirdness happening here. Okay, what if I do null? Then it becomes 3. Okay, so this means that we can actually do this. And now player inventory. Now we need to be very careful with what we do next, because we want to avoid unwanted mutations via references. So this player inventory. So in case we manage to occupy a tile on the battlefield, we need to set the index element of the array to null instead, right? And this means that here we do null, null, and null. Player inventory. So let's duplicate this. We are going to do the following. We're going to find the index. Inventory find index of the requested occupant, and then we are just going to set that index to none, to null. We're going to do the same thing here. And hello. And then we also if we're freeing the tile. Okay, so if we are freeing the tile, then the character, let's see, we are not going to manually place the element from the battlefield into the inventory. We're just going to click on the character on a battlefield, and then it will automatically take the first available space in the inventory. So then this means we need to find a null item in our inventory. Okay, so we get the occupant. Instead of simply pushing, we need to find an index of null. Now, can this function fail? Okay, let's see what we are doing in the stage function of freetile. Okay, so we actually are not checking the availability of empty space in this function, which we should probably. It's probably a good idea to do it here, because currently I think we perform the checks outside of the state abstraction. Here. let's see how many times we do this. Length, I think is going to be 2 times. It's on the battlefield, and whenever, like on the sign press, and whenever we click on the character. So this means that try free tile could have an additional condition. Yes, so we should add some more logic while we're at it. Player inventory occupant. So first we see if we have an empty space. And here we, if not occupant, we return null. And then we are going to return null if occupant index is less than 0 as well. And then if it's not less than 0, then we are going to populate. Oops. This should work. Let me just see if I'm missing something. No. Okay, so we're going to push the character into the first available slot, and also we can now also remove this statement, and we can remove the same statement from here. Not exactly. It's not exactly identical, because here we are returning from the for each loop, and we are continuing on to the next. Iteration. So this means that let's say there is no occupant. I think this branch hasn't been tested even. We never reached this logical branch. So if there is no occupant, what do? Do you continue? You shouldn't. You shouldn't continue. So this means that we should return otherwise. Now we can delete this, and maybe there could be some side effect from us doing so. But let's see. If occupant, we populate, else we return. Yes. Well, it's a bit not necessary here because the function will return anyway, but it's good to keep just so we are aware that the branch exists and it can have implications. Okay. Now here we don't need to make up an empty array anymore. Instead of doing this, we can just iterate through the inventory, and then we get the occupant. We don't need this check. This is a big function. Okay, these ones are kind of small, so this is the main thing we need to fix to make this work. And offset is going to be length. Okay, we get the occupant here, and this means that we can remove this line and we can remove this line, which means we should remove this. Let's pick this empty button and we place it here. We can technically return, but I think it's better if I do this for now. And we put it here. I don't want to forget about logical branches that are kind of at play. And fix the indentation. I think this should work because we're not accessing the inventory anymore. Right. Now here, oops. Here we need to just iterate through inventory. And one thing that we're overlooking is that occupant here can be null. So we should make an additional assertion. Okay. Yes. Oh, we inventory. We do inventory instead. And yes, we do this as well. And there were some checks. And we should add this null check to make sure that we don't break in runtime. Oh. Do we have any more of these checks? I don't think so. So this is probably should be working. Oh. Okay. Oh, sure. We have the vendor shenanigans. Let's see what's happening there. These vendor. Okay. So we don't need this line anymore because we are doing it here. No, we actually do need this check. What we can do here is yeah, because this vendor spawns the units on the battlefield first, and then if there is no space on the battlefield, it would spawn in the inventory. So this is fine, but we just need to make sure so we want to make sure first there is enough space this is wrong, by the way. It's not how it should be. We should do find index so we should check for the index of a free slot. If there is no free slot, means that index is going to be -1. Then this means that we try and occupy the tile on the battlefield. Otherwise, we set the inventory occupant index items value to this. And then we don't need this. If this thing doesn't fly, then we return. I don't like the way this line looks. We do this. We just run away. We exit the function and we don't make any changes to the balance, which means that you failed to purchase because you didn't have enough space in your inventory and on your battlefield. And then we don't trigger the reconciliation, we don't trigger the state change, and we don't mark the vendor item for garbage collection. So this is how it should be. Now we just need to do the same thing. This is too repetitive. We'll eventually factor it out. Let me do this. And I open it here again. And we just do the busy work. Or unit. So we fix the unit range. And I'm gonna keep... Let's see, I'm gonna be copying from the right. Okay, so we do this. Then yeah. Okay. I think we have one more left. Copy this stuff over as well. Okay, and we do this, we remove this parenthesis, and we populate balance. Great. Now, when we add a new inventory item, we're just going to push a new null. And that's all. Let's save, and I think this should be this should be good. Yes. Okay. Okay, we get a crash. Player inventory find index is not a function. Why so? It is because we have an old state. So let me remove the state, and now it works. Now I get this character here and I can place the character. Let's get some more. So we get this. Now I'm placing this one and it remains empty and I can't press on the empty slot. And then I do this, and then I take this character and then I stack them back up, and this is how they are. Exactly. Now I'm taking this one and it goes here, and this one will go here. So it seems like we have implemented this feature. Let's see how the vendor operates. Let's try to win the level. Oh, I think the chances of me getting I should probably add some money. Oh no, I got this. And this goes here. It's perfect. Okay, so seems like this stuff is working, and then when I press here I will get one of them back. Okay, so I would say we got it covered. Let's see what we have on the board. So that's good news because it was one of the harder tasks. Okay, so this one should be fairly easy. I'm gonna go take a little break and then I will stream like in 20 minutes or so. So I see you guys in the next session.